morning class, welcome to your daily current affairs on the paper Hindu. So let's go with today's articles. So online platform must take down PIB flagged fake news. So there is an amendment for the existing act of IT. So for IT Act, Information Technology Act 2023. So currently Center has amended that particular IT Act 2023 currently. That means they have amended the IT rules 2021 to IT rules 2023 with an amendment where the center amends this law. Intermediaries cannot bank on section 79 that now gives them immunity for content to put up by users. They have to remove anti-government posts once PIB sends out alert. That means PIB, so this particular PIB through which we will be getting your information report. So if the PIB finds out any particular social media account or any particular post given by a social media account in any kind of platform, if it finds out that is anti-government or it is triggering any kind of issues in the society, definitely it will alert that particular social media to take down that particular post, that account. Then they have to take down it immediately. So that is what this article says. See, censoring fake news. An amendment requires platforms to take steps to prevent fake news on the central government. So if there is any kind of fake news that is being circulating in the social media, that too in particular accounts, they will be targeting that accounts and they will be giving an alert message so that that particular message or that particular post have to be taken down. So that is about this article. So the amendment one, so PIB is already Press Information Bureau, that is the one which is a key platform which will track down any kind of fake news from other accounts, and the amendment was on Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code 2023, Amendment Rules 2023. So that is about this article under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, INB, right? So that is about this article. Next. So monetary policy, pause but not pivot, says thus after RBI holds policy rate at 6.5%. So they haven't changed. So through their current monetary policy, so who will be giving this monetary policy? It's not RBI but a committee called Monetary Policy Committee. So it is a 6-member committee, out of which 4 is at least majority required to accept any changes in monetary policy, and 5 out of 6 members have voted for retaining this 6.5% of repo rate. So what is repo rate? The rate at which RBI gives loans to the other banks. So the other banks under it. This is the repo rate. So currently this repo rate has been increased in the last fiscal year, and now this particular rate of 6.5%, again they are trying to retain it for this current quarter. So why they wanted to retain it? Again, the situation is global factor, again citing the global financial stability. So why should we have this greater repo rate as of now? Because of global financial stability concerns. So because of the global issues that might impact our current scenario, our market may inflate. So inflation might increase, money supply should be curtailed. So you need to understand this clearly. Global issues, global recession may be because of this ongoing war. Main reason is war. War scenario, global slowdown, crude oil prices hike. Crude oil prices hike, and there is a tendency, or again a question of windfall taxation, again that I don't want to mention about that, but as of now understand that these are the ongoing volatility in global market and globally it is slowing down. So impact of this on India, because of which the monetary policy, RBI has stated that through their monetary policy they will be keeping this repo rate at 6.5%. Earlier they have increased, so it used to be around 4.5% something, and now they have increased it to 6.5%, and now they are going to retain it for this particular fiscal year too. So what is this repo rate? The rate at which RBI gives loans to banks. Again, reverse repo is exactly opposite. Okay, so in return banks will give certain bonds to RBI. Okay, so on which rate this has to be done, the interest rate or the rate, this rate will determine, and currently the repo rate is high. So when the repo rate is high, they are trying to suck the money or take money. When banks are getting more interest from RBI, what they are going to do, they will be taking, I mean, if the interest rate is more, they will be giving more money to bank. So far what happens? Money distribution will be reduced, okay, because of higher repo rate. Fine. So 5 of the 6 members of the MPC policy to keep have followed the withdrawal of accommodation of ensuring inflation progressively aligns with the target. So currently what happened? All these have voted favorably to retain this repo rate to be 6.5%. Okay, next. And RBI Shaktikant Das has told that it is a pause, not a pivot. That means currently this particular global slowdown is just a pause and it is not going to be a continuum. That is what Shaktikant Das has mentioned. Next. So here you need to understand, when this rate is increasing, just for you to repeat, rate is increasing, bank will not again go with money. So it will not take money more because of the interest rates are being more. So when banks will not take loans, they will not have money with them. When they don't have much money with them, the amount disbursed to the common public will be reduced. So circulation of money will be reduced, in which inflation can be controlled. That is what your repo rate is. Okay. So because of the global issues, they are trying to curtail this money supply in India to ensure there is less volatility in the market, right? Next. So all these are local news. Yes. So no much news today, but 2 to 3 acts have been passed. 2 to 3 acts have been passed in Rajya Sabha, in Lok Sabha. So you will see that. Government amends rules in regulating online real money gaming. So right now I have told one place where they have amended IT rules, right? So IT Amendment Rules 2023 has been accepted. In the same line, so this is also through the amendment of IT Act. What they have done here, the IT Ministry amendment may follow such platforms to avoid the betting and gambling tag if they get a self-regulatory body's nod. INB Ministry wraps media for carrying ads of such platforms. Now, this online betting apps have increased a lot in the market. What they are going to do, if you take, for suppose this rummy or through any kind of dice rolling, if you invest certain amount, the return you will be getting amount if you have a favorable chance. For suppose your let's take this dice. So if you assume that your number would be 3, if the dice rolled is 3, you will be getting in return more amounts. So here the issue is, the platform whatever they are opting for is a coded programmed one. So the program will be in such a way that it wants to loot the amount as much as possible from the player, that the player will not be aware of. So this is maximum, it will be affecting the people as much as possible. People will not know. Initially they will be getting a lot of profits, so they tend to be addicted to that particular game, and later on even it would lead to suicidal attempts too. That is the level of issue with this online betting apps. And now, as of now, IT ministries. So INB, they have through this amendment, so they have got with one particular act that, so whatever this particular online betting apps are there, that should not be posted or that should not be advertised in any newspapers or any other platforms. So the media includes your newspapers, television channels, online news publishers, or showed specific examples such advertisements. So such platforms should not be giving any kind of advertisements for such online betting apps. And also they are trying to regularize this market. Who? Government. In what way? The IT ministry through intermediate guidelines require real money gaming platform to register with a self-regulatory body that will determine whether or not the game is permissible. So what they are trying to do? They are trying to regularize, they are trying to legalize so that they can identify what are the particular companies which are actually fraudulent. Okay. So here as of now, through IT update, so IT Amendment Act of 2023, they made sure that through this self-regulatory body you can register yourself. If you are a betting app, if you have developed a betting app and it is going well, then you can go to this particular self-regulating body and you can register yourself as a regulating body. So as a, not as a regulating body, as an accepted application. That is when you can go for the promotions too. So why are they doing this? To identify what are the actual number of these betting apps are there, and soon even taxation will also be introduced in such kind of applications. So that is their ideology. Okay. Next, so governance part and protecting people, social justice and everything, you can add that. Next, government not for space policy. So there is a third policy. So IT, two things we have seen, same on IT code, IT Amendment 2023, we have seen two articles. So there is a third article on a new act which is Indian Space Policy of 2023 has been introduced. So government not for this particular policy, and in which private players to set to gain. So it will benefit the private players. How? So we will see that. So the government on Thursday approved the Indian Space Policy 2023 seeks to institutionalize the private sector participation. So since 3 years private sector have been introduced into space arena, but a clear demarcation of areas where private entities can play a role hasn't been mentioned yet. And now through this particular policy, they've clearly demarcated in which areas they can be included to. So Union Minister Jitendra Singh said that this policy will allow the private sector to take part in end-to-end space activities, which includes building satellites, rockets and launch vehicles and data collection. This is the arena where the private bodies will take its action or its role. Okay. So ISRO Chairman Somnath Singh has said that the policy would focus to increase the participation of private players in the sector. That is what they have mentioned upon. So privatization is increasing in space also. That you need to understand. Even in defense, privatization have been introduced. In space also they are giving huge ambient or huge scope for private entities to grow. Okay. So this is again the backdrop of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So for this particular article, the backdrop is Atmanirbhar Bharat, where we are trying to tap the benefits of demographic dividend, right? Next. So government releases pre-draft of national curriculum framework for schools. So their target is from 3 years to 18 years age group. For these particular school children, the government have released this pre-draft which is open for feedback. So from public it is open for our feedback. Let's see with the article. The Education Ministry put down documents seeking feedback from various stakeholders. Recommendations include modular board exams instead of single exam at year end, and for class 11 and class 12 basing result for cumulative score. So what is this about? Especially for the class 11 and class 12, they can opt for modular exams. So initially we used to have half yearly, quarterly and then annually exams, and right now this half yearly exams can be conducted as modules which will be added up. So to reduce the burden, stress burden on these particular people and to improve the efficiency at the same rate. That is what they are trying to come with, a cumulative score. Okay, so the Ministry of Education released this pre-draft, which is again open for discussion. So you can go to this particular website where NCF NCRT @CIET and nic.in. So if you can go to this particular website, you can open the draft and you can understand, and also you can give your feedback upon this particular pre-draft of framework for education. Especially the targeted age group is 3rd to 18. They have given the curriculum, so you can just send it through mail. Next, a key part of the document is inclusion of values for its rootedness in India. So what are the key highlights that we definitely wanted to know? So it is deeply rooted in India. This is in context and learning of languages. So what are the deep rooted things of India? First thing, our concept and our edge in learning languages. In the pedagogical approach, including tools and resources in philosophical basis. So what is this pedagogical approach? So theoretical knowledge. So we edge in that. The way how our teachers or our during schooling, how our teachers used to teach is through this theoretical approach, through philosophies, through tools and resources, through philosophical basis, and in the aims of epistemic approach. How is this? 6 pramanas. This I have already discussed earlier once, and now I am going to discuss again. The main highlights of this particular pre-draft is that the document says that it leans towards making students acquainted with true resources of knowledge which have a philosophical preoccupation of ancient India. What they are trying to do is, they are trying to merge our ancient Indian methodologies of education with Western education. So they are trying to bring up rapport between both. How? Through 6 pramanas. What is this 6 pramanas approach? First is pratyaksha, interpreted as perception through 5 senses. So learning through 5 senses, all the 5 senses. Next, anumana, which uses interference to come up with a new conclusion. So questioning what you have learnt. First, perception development. Next, questioning what you have learnt, through which you will be arriving to new conclusions. Next, upamana, which is knowing through analogy and comparison. Later on, comparing with existing another scenarios. That is through upamana. Next, so arthapatti, which involves knowing through circumstantial implication. So this is, again you need to understand, we have a strong negative feedback on current educational system, that not till NEP, before NEP, till before the starting of NEP, National Education Policy 2020, the major feedback or criticism on existing educational system is that it focuses on not learning, not gaining knowledge, but the one who remembers it well, right? So it doesn't matter if you understand or if you not understand, as long as you are trying to by heart the existing content, you are topper of that particular batch, right? But now that is not the case. Through these 6 pramanas, it will make sure that your knowledge is improving, your intelligence is improving, and you go through wisdom. So what is knowledge, what is intelligence, what is wisdom? Whatever you learn will give you knowledge, so through which you will be understanding, or you will try to compare, analyze, that is through your intelligence. Wisdom is again application. On that, how you will further make your life clearer, that is wisdom. Okay, how you apply it. Currently see, involving through circumstantial implication. What is this? Arthapatti, where you are trying to imply your understanding through circumstantial implications. That means by understanding the circumstances, how you are able to apply it. So again it is targeting what? Development of knowledge and wisdom in the student. So next, anupalabdhi, which includes perception of non-existence, and shabda, which is the document. So shabda. So currently these are all the 6 which actually develops the student different perceptions through images, through voice, all through 6 senses. It will be able to identify and learn. So which the document explains is something an individual. So what is the shabda? Something an individual can directly know a fraction of reality through direct experience and inference, but must rely on other experts was acknowledged through thousands of years ago. So, which is like you despite the student can be like Ekalavya, still your guru is necessary, right? So, definitely through experts knowledge sharing, all these would help student grow. That is their ideology. So, you are clear, it is clear that they are trying to merge Indian system with Western system, right? So, that is about this article, really important. So, the pre-draft also recommends for a balanced diet. Why? Because in children and in women, currently India is lagging in this particular, not lagging, it is completely turning out to be a failure with respect to malnutrition. Balanced diet is not being followed. So, balanced diet, traditional games, yogasans, as well as wide range of varieties or wide variety of stories, songs, lullabies, poem prayers to develop love for culture. So, reviving culture, reviving our Indian culture to develop affinity, to develop this love towards your Indian culture, right? Revival. Next, very important one, you can directly add it in your answers. How the government initiatives are towards culture preservation as well as imparting this education into students. Okay, next. Yes, FTP policy, foreign trade policy. So, this is the fourth one which we are discussing in policies, important. So, FTP opens doors for some second hand goods imports. So, as part of this FTP, foreign trade policy, FTP, what they are trying to do is re-exports. Let us say a particular product has been failed or wear and tear, after wear and tear it has gone repaired, that means it is not working, let us say, or it has broke. Now, that particular equipment or that particular thing will be again imported to our country. From our country it has been exported. So, be clear what they are trying to do here. So, re-exports is the term that they have used. What is this re-exports? So, let us say India has exported one good, any good, okay, and after wear and tear that particular good has been spoiled, broken or some kind of broken or wear and tear, anything. After wear and tear it has gone repaired, to repaired. Let it be damaged product, let me write it as damaged. Okay. Now, this particular damaged product will be re-imported to India. So, this is re-import, not re-import, okay fine, let it be re-imported to India, and after this India will again repair this particular product and will trade it again, which is your re-export. So, this will become second hand product, but still repairing and reusing it, right? Efficient usage of reusing, that is what guaranteed through FTP. So, through the fresh approach, a change in import policy allows for the re-export of imported items after refurbishment. So, after usage, after wear and tear, it will be re-imported to the country and re-exported to the other destination or the same destination. So, again effective usage of the product, okay, giving it second life. The new foreign trade policy allows for the re-export of old items after repairing them in the country. The move is expected to give a boost to the export of refurbished electronic and IT goods. Especially these goods will be of more important. So, the semiconductor chips or whatever the goods to manufacture it, whatever the equipment that we are using, not all will fail. Only one particular item would be failing in entire equipment, in entire assembly. One particular item would be failed, one particular chip might have failed, but rest all can be reused, right? So, that scope will be more in electronics and IT goods, which they are trying to make benefit. So, center will now allow the import of second hand goods and is expected to encourage refurbishing activities for re-exports, and the importance will have to comply with the domestic laws and norms, because we are trying to import electronic and IT refurbishments, which might again be a major threat or major threat for environment in the terms of e-waste. That is why it has to comply with domestic laws and norms. Okay. FTP policy 2023 very important for your exam. So, just go through that policy, don't skip that. Okay. Next. I think that's it for today. Yes. So that's it for today. Few of the students have asked me to give question, like post the session they are asking me to give the question on different things that we have discussed, like quiz questions. So what is the name of the IT Act which has been amended, entire name, and what are its implications? So it's not completely kind of your quiz type of questions. You might also write a answer for that. Okay, written answer also can be taken as quiz. So one question that I would like to ask in this is, what are the major implications of FTP policy 2023, foreign trade policy 2023, what are the major implications and what are the major drawbacks? Number 2, what are your inputs that you would like to give for the draft policy of curriculum for students, so the framework curriculum for age group of 3 to 8. Number 3 is your question on IT policy which I have told you. So IT Amendment Act 2023, currently how far it can regulate this online gaming apps, what are its threats or what can be further improved. So these critical angles should be developed, so try to do that. For that you can also take examples, so if you can focus, I think now lot of acts have been come into picture, go through editorials too, so that you will be able to figure out the critical angle of existing policies. Okay, so that's it for today. If you want this article or this PDF, you can go to our Telegram channel. If you don't have the link, you can ping me in the chat box, so I can share you that particular link. Yes, so that's it for today. Also, no, I'm not kind of promoting this, but yeah, for you, for the people who really want help, so you can contact this particular number for further queries. So any kind of admissions or anything, not promoting, for students who really want to prepare, we really want to help. So this is the number which you can contact. Okay, yes, fine. That's it for today. Thank you for the session. Good day. We'll meet again tomorrow.